now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here, as always, on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we finish up Black History Month as we discuss Krush Groove, the fictional retelling of the creation of Def Jam Records, starring Blair Underwood, Run-D.M.C, the Fat Boys, Kurtis Blow, Sheila E, New Edition, Rick Rubin, LL Cool J, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, today we're going to wrap up Black History Month and take a look at Krush Groove, a fun, fictitious retelling of the creation of Def Jam Records. Now, this review is going to be a little bit different, as there's about a paragraph or so that is the general synopsis, and then the rest of it I'm going to tell you is kind of how reality differed from the fictional movie. Give you a little bit of history here. But as our movie opens, Russell Walker, instead of Russell Simmons, has signed all of the hottest acts to his Krush Groove record label, including Run-D.M.C, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and Kurtis Blow, while Rick Rubin produces their records. When Run-D.M.C scores a hit record and Russell doesn't have the money to press records, he borrows money from J.B., a street hustler. At the same time, Russell and his brother Run are both competing for the affections of R&B singer percussionist Sheila E. Now, Krush Groove is based on the inception of Def Jam Records and the hardships that artists Run-D.M.C and Russell Simmons faced to become successful. Simmons began his career trying to get his company, Rush Management, up and running. However, in the movie, he is shown as already being teamed up with producer Rick Rubin to form Def Jam, which is referred to as Krush Groove Records in the film, where in reality, the label was started by Rubin himself in 1984 in his college dorm room at New York University. The Fat Boys were the first group to showcase a human beatbox while rhyming. In the movie, the group starts out by referring to themselves as the Disco Three, and it wasn't until a scene at a Sparrow's Italian buffet where the three boys took the phrase, all you can eat, to the next level by eating everything. So they decided to give themselves the name the Fat Boys. Now, in reality, the name the Fat Boys was suggested by the group's manager when he received a $350 hotel bill for the extra breakfast that was ordered by the group on their European tour. Now, as portrayed in the movie, the group was discovered through the Coca-Cola and Tin Pan Apple hip-hop contest at Radio City Music Hall, where the trio won the grand prize, a recording contract, although they entered the contest to try to win the second place prize, a stereo set. Throughout the movie, Sheila E. and Russell Simmons are romantically involved, which discouraged Run, who was always interested in her. In reality, Run did not like the concept of being disloyal to his brother, and the romance between him and Sheila E. was all made up. Now, Sheila E. only made it into the film simply because they wanted a love interest, like in most films, and she recorded for Warner Brothers Records, which was the sister company of the film's distributor. Later on, the team in the movie was joined by its first popular teen sensation, LL Cool J, who plays a very small role in the movie at the age of only 17 years old. LL Cool J is discovered in the movie through his piece, I Can't Live Without My Radio, which is performed at an audition in front of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Jam Master Jay, D&C, and Rick Rubin at Rubin's apartment. In reality, LL Cool J was discovered in Rubin's apartment, but not through an audition. While going through a box of demo tapes, Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys stumbled across LL's demo. Ad Rock then produced a beat and co-wrote the song I Need a Beat with LL and Rick Rubin, which launched both of their careers, Rubin and LL respectively, which in turn allowed Def Jam Records to take off. Now, the movie was not made the way the artists had really desired, but with all of the talent of that time and most members of the Def Jam and Rush management family, the purpose of the movie, according to Russell Simmons, was to showcase the array of young talent emerging from New York's black music scene and depict its vibrancy. Krush Groove really is a time capsule and a fun movie. You think about all the recording artists of the time that are in the movie, you know, Run-D.M.C. and the Fat Boys and Kurtis Blow and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which I had never heard of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde before. I've seen Krush Groove a few times, had no idea that was their names, but upon doing my research, Dr. Jekyll is Andre Harrell, the man who started Uptown Records, which featured among its acts Mary J. Blige and a very young producer named Sean Puffy Combs, who then left Uptown Records to create one Bad Boy Records. So you've got Andre Harrell in this movie, who's responsible for careers like Puffy and Mary J. Blige. You've got Run-D.M.C, you've got the Beastie Boys, you've got Kurtis Blow. I came to know Kurtis Blow from a radio show on Power 106 back in the day. It was Kurtis Blow and the Old School Show. And he would come on the weekends, either Saturday or Sunday, and he'd play those old school jams, mostly slow songs, because the time slot he was given was that late night time. So you figure a lot of people that are listening are trying to relax, trying to unwind, get ready for work the next day, fall asleep. So he's playing all those old school slow jams. But that was my first exposure to Kurtis Blow. You got Sheila E, most notorious for being part of Prince's camp. You've got New Edition, who were like teenage age at this point. You had, Ralph Tresvant, Bobby Brown, Ronnie DeVoe, Ricky Bell, and Michael Bivins. There was no Johnny Gill yet. Johnny didn't come until Bobby left. But you had Ralph Tresvant, Bobby Brown, and then Bell Biv DeVoe. You had the Beastie Boys make a brief appearance. We talked about how Ad Rock discovered LL's demo tape. So they have a real brief performance. If memory serves me correctly, they don't even perform a song. Then you've got LL Cool J, who, if you watch this movie, it's like playing a game of Where's Waldo. Because until he makes his appearance doing I Can't Live Without My Radio, he's there, but you don't really know he's there unless you're looking for him. You'll see him walk through a scene, pick up a box, and keep walking like he's a mover or something, setting up stuff backstage. You'll see him randomly behind somebody as they're cutting a scene, almost like a paid extra. It's like you really have to pay attention, but if you look for him, you'll see him pop up in a bunch of places. And then the iconic Run-D.M.C. I mean, how do you sleep on Run-D.M.C? DJ runs my name. Jam Master Jay is his. He's DMC. It's like that, and that's the way it is. Like, Run-D.M.C is the other group that I really got exposed to coming into hip hop back in the 80s. Now, while they may not have been my first tape, as I've said a couple times, The first tapes that I ever owned for my very first boombox was He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, LL Cool J, Radio, and Crushin' by the Fat Boys. But I knew of Run-D.M.C. I just hadn't grasped onto their music yet to where I was owning it. But I knew of it. I knew of Walk This Way with Aerosmith. I knew of It's Tricky. I knew of The King of Rock. I originally, some of you may not believe this, some of you maybe will. The very first time I ever heard of Krush Groove was towards the end of the movie House Party in 1990. You know, the film starred Kid and Play, Martin Lawrence, etc. And towards the end of the movie, before Kid goes home and he gets his whooping by his old man, there's kind of a throwaway line by Martin's character Bilal. And everyone's already hanging out. Kid's already in trouble. And he's like, man, you won't believe what's coming on the Late Show tonight. Krush Groove and Beat Street. And both Kid and Play are kind of like, oh, man, that's cool. It's like, but it's late. I got to go. I'm already in enough trouble as it is, blah, blah, blah. And the first time I heard of Krush Groove was that throwaway line. And then as the internet became a thing, I started to do more research about it. Then I remember VH1 showing Krush Groove on their Movies That Rock. So it was the first time I ever saw it. And it was so cool, man. Like getting to see all these artists in their prime. So, so good. And to this day, I love watching it whenever I get a chance. As of right now, I don't own it because finding copies of it, DVD, Blu-ray, have been so hard to find, at least within my budget. Once money gets a little bit better, I'll start scouring the web a little bit deeper, see if I can find like a new DVD or Blu-ray copy of this. But for right now, I don't own it, and it's sad because I want to own this movie so bad. I love Krush Groove. So when it comes to my rating of this film, it's not the perfect movie. I can't give it a full 5 because I kind of agree with Run's assessment, and the whole Sheila E thing, the love interest story, seems kind of forced. I'm not really a fan of that. If it had come off as more natural, okay. But it seems kind of forced, and he even didn't like that part of it. So for when it comes to my rating of this, give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It is that good. And if you've never seen Krush Groove, I highly recommend you seek it out and you watch it. As of right now, if you have the Vudu app, it is only $4.99 to purchase it. I was going to just go in there and rent it at first, $2.99 to rent it. Then I saw it was only $4.99 to buy it. I was like, let me just pony up the extra $2. I've got the digital copy. I can watch it wherever I want. Still want the hard copy, though. Like I said, I still want to have the DVD or the Blu-ray to throw in my collection. But at least I have the digital copy. I don't have to worry about if it's on Netflix or Hulu or Prime or any of that stuff. Whenever I want to watch it, I can watch it on Vudu. $4.99, small price to pay for a movie this epic. I recommend you do it too. What do you guys think of Krush Groove? Those of you that have seen it, let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, as we once again open the doors for Stat Boys Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou. The food is hot, the beer is ice cold, and the seats are warm, so pull up a bar stool and engage some professional sports talk with Stat Boy Mike and Dory Lou. They've got XFL, they've got NHL as they push towards the playoff, some NASCAR, all kinds of good stuff in store tomorrow, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern on Stat Boys Sports Bar. And then later in the day on the Jeff Meacham Network and across the Jeff Meacham Network, multiverse of media, It'll be time to engage with the host with the most himself, the West Coast professor Jeff Meacham, as he hosts Talk Wrestling or Anything with Jeff Meacham. 7:05 Pacific, 10:05 Eastern, immediately following NXT. And then the next time you will see me will be Wednesday, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews as we kick off the new month and the new theme of movies that star WWE Hall of Famers. We'll be taking a look at the women's wrestling documentary Lipstick and Dynamite, which amongst its subjects heavily features 1995 Hall of Fame inductee, the fabulous Moolah, and 2008 WWE Hall of Fame inductee, Mae Young. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, Statboy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou, Talk Wrestling, or Anything with Jeff Meacham, and a brand new month, a brand new theme, movies that star WWE Hall of Famers, Lipstick and Dynamite, Fabulous Moolah, and Mae Young. Don't want to miss out on any of that, so make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Blair Underwood, fans of Run-D.M.C, fans of the Fat Boys, fans of Kurtis Blow, LL Cool J, Sheila E, fans of hip-hop music or Def Jam Records. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized and begin to make some money on the hard work I've put into this channel over the last 2 years. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means so much more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.